Radical business model transformation is the systematic change process of moving from one business model type into the next business model type. And from our 3 years of research and our 300 businesses and firms that we have been analyzing, we learned that it requires a change in the front end, which is the value proposition and the way that you deliver value to your client. It requires a change in the back end, so in terms of your value creation network and also your partner network that you're operating or your ecosystem. And last but not least, it requires a change in the monetization mechanics. And only if these three domains are really changed, transformed in a systematic way and are aligned at the end of the change process, then we have the foundation for successful business model transformation. And here are 3 tips for CEOs who want to successfully drive business model transformation. Successful transformational leaders actually make a very conscious decision if they want to move with the crowd and follow the crowd. So basically follow a certain prevailing industry theme. So if the entire automotive industry is moving towards platform, they are also moving towards platform. Or on the other hand side, really make their own decision and move their own way. So that can even basically mean moving in the opposite direction than the industry trend. This can be a very wise decision, but it requires a transformation entrepreneurial leadership to have the guts to go in your own way. But at the end, it can be a less risky option compared to moving with the crowd, especially if there is a winner-takes-it-all logic, what we're seeing in the platform, the solution place, where it's very difficult to catch up if there are already strong number 1 or 2 platforms. Tip number 2 is about the transformation intensity or the transformation radicality. You can actually change your business model in the dimension of customization, so making them more customer specific or more standardized. Or you change on the dimension of inclusiveness, so making them more inclusive, which means the offering becomes more comprehensive and the business transactions become more sticky. Or you can even transform in both dimensions at the same time. And then it's important to see that most successful business transformations rather move over the edges, basically. They do a 2-step approach. They move, for example, from a product into a project into a solution business model type and not directly through the core, because this would mean kind of combining the delta, the change delta effort from the customization and the inclusiveness dimension in one move, which only very few organizations can handle. There are exceptions, but it requires a very strong entrepreneurial leadership. It also requires an organization which is capable of digesting that level of change, and it also requires customers who are willing to adjust that change to that change. So tip 3 is about the speed of transformation. Most companies actually do not shift overnight. They transform in a step-by-step approach rather. This has something to do with how much change actually your organization but also your customers can digest, and at the same time how entrepreneurial your leadership is that is leading this business model transformation. We have only seen very few examples like the traditional Apple move from a product into a platform business model at the beginning with the introduction of the iPod, which really was a change in a very short time frame, and that was driven by a very entrepreneurial leader. Most companies potentially are better advised to go into a step-by-step approach, into a staged approach, unless there is a winner-takes-it-all logic in the industry to really kind of, if you don't become the number 1 in the industry, like in platform or solution business model, you will potentially not have a chance to succeed. Based on these 3 tips, following 2 questions might serve as a guiding principle for leaders who want to guide their organization through a radical business model transformation. It will be the first question: when was the last time when we really did something for the first time? And the second question to discuss with your leadership team would be, are we really thinking radically enough?